everyone, it's Ellen here, and as you can see today I've put on my party dress because we have something really awesome to celebrate. We just hit 800,000 subscribers here on the Forever Faithful channel. If you follow me on any of my socials, you'll know that I say this a lot, but I really truly mean it when I say you guys mean the world to me, and I'm so incredibly grateful to have grown to the size that we are and to have so many of you guys in the Forever family. I started this channel about 14 years ago as just a girl in her bedroom who wanted to share her music with the world, and it's just incredible to look at how much this has grown and how we've built a community of learners and people who support each other to grow in our musical and our guitar abilities throughout the world. Like, the spread of the Forever family has truly been amazing to watch. You guys are from all over the world, and I just really wanted to say thank you so much for helping me get my channel to where it is now. So because 800,000 is such a huge milestone number to hit, I wanted to do something a little bit different and a little bit new on my channel, so I'm doing my very first ever Ask Me Anything. It was about a week ago that I posted across all of my social media sites asking you guys to submit any questions that you had for me to answer in my Ask Me Anything, and this could be guitar related or anything else, like whatever you guys wanted to know. So basically I went through all of my socials and got all of the questions and kind of categorized them into 4 main little groups. So I will timestamp the progress bar below in case you're just interested in one particular type of question. So basically we'll start with guitar related questions because I got a lot of those, and then we'll move into career related questions and where I see the YouTube channel going and stuff like that. Then personal questions about how I grew up and things like that, and then we're gonna end with a lightning round where you guys ask really fun questions that I'm just gonna answer super fast. All right guys, so I'm actually pretty old school and I took all of your comments and like printed them out on all these sheets of paper. So let's go ahead and start with the guitar related questions. I got so many from you guys just related to, you know, how I started my YouTube channel, how long did I play guitar, what was my very first guitar, what was my first song that I learned on guitar, was it hard for me to learn guitar? These are all really awesome questions. So I actually made an entire video just discussing my guitar journey and how I got here today right now. So if you want to check that out, I will link it right here. It's basically how I taught myself guitar and everything that I went through, the struggles and all of that stuff, kind of my music background. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out right here. Along with that, I also got a lot of questions about bar chords, you know, like how do you play bar chords, what are tips to get better at bar chords, and I wanted to point out this specific comment from Anime Music Arts. They asked, do you think you're a good guitar player and do you think you're good at bar chords? And I thought this was such a great question because I really wanted to just get this off my chest. I do not think that I'm good at bar chords. Like, I still to this day, 14 years later after starting the YouTube channel, I still struggle with bar chords myself. If you haven't seen my small hands video that I made like last year or something, I do talk about the fact that my hands are rather small when it comes to guitar players. Often you'll see people with really long fingers, and that does, you know, have its advantages, and one of those things is bar chords. It makes it a little bit easier. So for me, having shorter fingers, it is super hard for me to have the finger strength and to have the length to even just bar my chords properly. So I am going to start a bar chord mini series on my channel here soon, which will go in depth into what bar chords are, what are some tips to get better at them, little practice exercises that you can utilize to strengthen your fingers to get better at bar chords. So that is all still in development. So if you have any other questions specifically about bar chords, make sure to leave it in a comment below so that I can capture those before I finish up the bar chord series. So a few of you guys asked questions that were related to guitar and kind of incorporating into YouTube, so I wanted to just address those, like when are we starting a finger picking series, when are we going to start lead guitar lessons and things like that. That's all stuff that I would definitely address down the pipeline if I feel confident enough to, you know, teach you guys about it. But currently I'm actually going on my own journey this year to, you know, get better at finger picking, get better at lead guitar and electric guitar and all of that kind of stuff. So make sure to subscribe if you're interested in watching my journey as I learned that. But eventually I could definitely see us, you know, diving into courses like that if you guys want to see them. So keep an eye out. And I did want to point out a specific comment from Nick J. How do you decide which songs to make tutorials for? This is something that's very much decided by you guys. I get requests for songs throughout my socials and my comments on my YouTube videos and everything all the time. And the ones that capture my attention that I really think about making tutorials for would be the ones that are either the most thumbs up or the most hearted or whatever it is on all the socials. But something else that I'm also starting very soon is launching my own Forever Faithful website, where I will have a request portal where you can request songs, and it'll keep it in a database for me so that when I'm planning my future videos, I can look through and see how many times different songs have been requested. So keep an eye out for that. I think it's going to be really helpful for me to kind of organize what all of you guys want to see. So Bree M and Daniela had very similar questions where they were just asking about how do you figure out chords, strumming, finger picking, how do you know whether or not a song needs a capo and things like that. That is all very detailed, and so there's like a lot that I could say about how to figure out how to play a song on your own. So let me know if you want to see a full video just on that topic alone, and I can definitely make that for you guys. There's a lot of steps and there's a lot of different ways people will do it, so it definitely deserves its own video. And lastly, for this guitar portion, a lot of you guys asked me about practicing and, like how long do you have to practice before you can switch chords or play a song without any mistakes or just get good in general. This is a huge topic that has so many different pinpoints of how to practice and things like that. So I will be answering these in my future Friday FAQs, where I can give you guys advice on like how to practice and practice tips and things like that. So definitely look forward to that. But I did also want to point out a question from Flexible Beauty Cow. Is it ever too late to start learning guitar? And of course the answer to that is no. It's never too late in your life to pick up anything new. I mean, obviously maybe if you're an athlete, like it could be a little bit late to like pick up football all of a sudden or something. But when it comes to guitar and musical instruments, I never think it's too late. I never think anyone's ever too old to pick up something new. And it may take you a little bit longer to learn something, but you also have a lot more experience and wisdom from living a longer life that you can apply to things like this. So there's advantages and disadvantages to being young or old when you start, but never ever will I ever think anyone's too old to start learning guitar. Alright guys, so now moving on to the career related questions that I got. I'm going to start with one that I saw a few times about people asking if I was ever going to make original music or start a band or anything like that. And the answer to that is I just wish that I could be in a band. That sounds like such a dream to me, but at the same time, I'm so afraid of performing in front of people. I'm just very stage fright heavy. I don't like performing in front of people. It makes me super nervous. My hands get all clammy. I'm just not good at it. Don't ask me about YouTube stuff. For some reason, cameras are not the same as actual people with actual eyes actually looking at you. But I wish that I could start a band, and I think that would be really fun, but no plans to do that. However, I do really like to write songs. That's actually why I started my channel. So if you watch my video about, how I taught myself guitar, that was the original goal, is I wanted to share with you guys the music that I wrote myself. And so I think I will pick that back up and start sharing more of my original songs if you'd like to see them. I also have a playlist already with some of the songs that I've already written, if you want to check them out. But anyways, to answer that, yes, I love writing music and stuff, but no, I don't think I'll ever start, being in a band or anything. Related to that, I got a few questions of people asking me if I would ever consider doing voice lessons or vocal coaching or anything like that. And the answer to this one is no. Not because I don't love you guys and not because I wouldn't want to give you my advice, but just because I don't feel super confident in knowing enough about how to sing that I would want to teach you guys. I wouldn't want to teach you guys the wrong thing, basically. So thank you so much. If you think that I'm a good singer, that really means a lot to me because it takes a lot to put yourself out there. But no, I don't think that I'm in the right position to be a vocal coach at all. But I would suggest, if you are looking for something like that, there's so many people on YouTube who are amazing at it. So I'll link them in the description below. But yeah. No vocal lessons for me in the future. Now, stemming from that, I also got quite a few of you guys asking me about what I did before I was a guitar teacher on YouTube. And specifically, I wanted to point out Shuwin. They asked, what did you do before becoming a YouTube guitar teacher? And you guys might be surprised or not to know about this, but I actually was a teacher before becoming a guitar teacher. I went to college for a degree in elementary education, so I was like an elementary school teacher before that. Before this, actually there was a period while I was making YouTube videos that I was also teaching at a school. So teaching has always been kind of a passion of mine. It's always been part of my life. And I think what got me into teaching is just, I love whenever someone is working really hard at something and you watch them struggle and you watch them work really hard at it, and then one day they get it, and they're so proud of themselves. Like, I worked so hard, I finally get it. You give them, if it's school, you give them a bunch of problems and they can solve every single one because they know how to do it now. Like, there's just something so rewarding in this life about watching someone go through that process that you just can't replace with anything else ever in the whole world. There's like a happiness that you feel when you're so proud of someone for accomplishing a goal. So I think that's what got me into teaching, which got me into, regular being a teacher, school teacher, which got me into teaching guitar on YouTube. And similarly, I love when you guys send me videos of you progressing and working on things, and I love to share that with all of the other Forever Family members across my socials. So if you're ever practicing and want to show me something that you think is really cool that you just learned, please send it to me. I love watching stuff like that. All right, next up is YouTube related questions. Some of you guys were asking me specifically about, what it's like to be a YouTuber and things like that. I wanted to point out Believe in Guitar's comment where they asked, I wanted to know how to grow my YouTube channel. I'm getting demotivated because my channel is not growing. And I feel you, I know how you feel. Like, I know it's kind of ironic because we're celebrating 800,000 subscribers on my end, but you do have to realize that I've been on YouTube for so incredibly long. I've been on since 2008, which is before the majority of people who are on it now even knew about YouTube, I'm sure. So I do have that kind of like advantage of just being here for a long time, and without that, I never would be at this milestone right now. I can guarantee you that. So don't be discouraged about that. And a lot of it just has to do with YouTube's mysterious algorithm, right? Like, to this day, like, I've tried to study and research it. I don't know how they push things out. I don't know what they look for. I don't know who they promote and who they don't. If I did, guaranteed I would try harder to be pushed out to you guys. But I just, YouTube is always changing, and it's really hard to keep your content matching what they're trying to go for at this moment in time. A few years ago, long form content, so like 20 minutes or longer, did really well, and I think that really gave my channel a boost. But right now, it's almost the opposite. I think short form content is going to blow up in the next few years. So if I did give you any advice, I would say to go ahead and try your hand at those YouTube Shorts, those Instagram Reels, those TikToks, anything like short form content. I really think that that's going to be picking up here soon. So hopefully that can help you grow your channel, and that's the best advice that I could give you. And lastly, I wanted to wrap up this career section with Jasmine's question. When do you plan on releasing the first episode for the intermediate series, and would you consider doing lessons and tutorials for other instruments? So basically, like, I've had so much fun over the years doing these YouTube things, and those of you who have followed my beginner series all the way through know that I am planning an intermediate series as well. So basically, the footprint for kind of how this is going to look on my channel is I'm going to finish up the beginner series, which I think there's only 2 episodes left right now. Then I'm going to go into the bar chord mini series, which will be a lot less episodes, so hopefully those will not take too long to make. And then after that is when I will be releasing my intermediate series, which will go into things like finger picking and more complicated strumming rhythms, a little bit of music theory, that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, please make sure to subscribe and make sure that you're ready to go when that happens. But for now, I don't have a set date yet when the intermediate series will be released. It just depends on how quickly I can get out the rest of the beginner and the bar chord series first. And now moving into the personal questions. I find these really fun to answer because it's just based on, my life and stuff, so it's really easy to answer. We'll start with the softballs. People were asking how old I am and if I'm Asian. So I am actually 33 years old. I know, I can't believe I'm saying this on the internet, but yes, it's true. I'm 33 years old, just turned 33 this past December. And am I Asian? Yes, I am. I have a Chinese heritage. My parents are both Chinese from Taiwan, and so I guess if you wanted to distinguish, you could say that I'm Taiwanese. But yeah, my heritage and my race really are intertwined so much with who I am as a person, and I think it's definitely helped shape my life as it is today. Then I got a few questions about how long have I lived in Texas, am I a native Texan, do I travel a lot, things like that. So I'm not technically a native Texan. I moved to Texas when I was 1 year old, so I like to say that I'm grandfathered into being a true Texan. However, I was born in Arizona, so I guess I'm an Arizonian, but I definitely feel like a Texan at heart. I've been here my whole entire life that I can, remember things for. So yes, I would claim that I'm a native Texan. And I wanted to point out a specific comment from California Beach Town, and they asked, where would you like to settle eventually? And I think my answer to this is somewhere with really good weather. Texas can be super duper hot sometimes, and even though people love that about Texas, I do find it to be a little too hot. So I think I would love to go somewhere where that's really mild. I mean, obviously I'd say something like California, but I think a lot of people, there's too many people in California right now and people moving in and stuff. So I think where I would like to settle eventually is just somewhere, chill, like somewhere that's very calm, not super fast paced, with good weather and good food and good people. So yeah. I also got a lot of other personal questions that I would love to answer, but I don't want this video to be too incredibly long. So I did just want to point out Austin Caden's comment, and they said, hey Ellen, do you have any other interests other than music? And I just wanted to share this part of myself with you guys because it's such a huge part of who I am. Yes, one of the biggest things that I love besides music and playing guitar and other instruments is escape rooms. And I don't know if you guys know what this is or if you've ever been to any, but basically escape rooms are when they kind of lock you in a room with your friends and you have to like solve puzzles and riddles and things like that to get out of the escape room, and they give you like a time limit. It is so much fun. I love things like that. I've actually done so many escape rooms that I'm out of all of the escape rooms in my city. I've been doing it since about 2015 or so I'm just out of escape rooms. That's how much I love them. And also board games. If you ever invite me to a board game night, I will 100% be there ready to go with my own games. And yeah, I'm just really excited about that. So thank you for asking that question. I've always wanted to share that with you guys. I love board games, love escape rooms, love horror movies. I just love anything that kind of has that suspenseful, thrilling aspect to it. And the last question in this section was such a good one. I'm gonna point out Unknown Leslie's, and they asked words you could say to your younger self or things that you wish you knew before. And this is such a great question. I think you watching this video right now, you should answer that for yourself too. It's so eye-opening. But I think out of all the things that I wish I could say to my younger version of myself, I think the number one thing I would say is to just be more confident. I kind of struggled being very introverted, very unconfident my whole life. I always needed approval or pushes from other external factors, other people in my life, and I just wish if I could go back and do it again from when I was a kid, I would just be more confident in myself and not rely so much on other people telling me that's a good idea or that's a bad idea or I think you can do it or I don't think you can do it. That kind of stuff really affects the way that I think of myself and my capability of whether or not I can do something, and it really shouldn't, that comes from within yourself. If you know you can do something, go for it and try your hardest and do it and show people that you can do it. I wish I could tell myself that, because I think that there's a lot that would be different about my life right now if I just pushed myself harder a little bit earlier in life. Alright guys, I know that this video is getting a little bit long, so I wanted to end with a lightning round where I'm just going to quickly answer all of these questions. So, here it goes. Polar bears, sometimes, Texas, lover, Martin, ramen, blank space, Bronyar at the moment, guitar, yes, acoustic, Cincinnati, they're fine, yeah, they're okay. Probably Zac Efron, maybe. Doritos, and yes, love them. Pink and blue, and I'm a Sagittarius Capricorn cusp, and my favorite food is any sort of dessert, and favorite place for vacation would be a beach. So that kind of ends this video. I know it's super random, but I've never done an AMA before and I thought it would be fun, and this was really fun to film. So if you have any other questions, like leave them below. We can definitely do more AMAs in the future. And I would like to expand a lot more on some of the questions I saw. I just didn't want this video to be too incredibly long. So thank you so much for watching. And again, thank you so much for helping me hit this incredible milestone of 800,000 subscribers on the Forever Faithful channel. Honestly, like I never would have thought that it would get to this point, you know, like we're on our way to 1 million, and like at the 800,000 mark, the 1 million mark almost seems actually doable, you know? It's that whole thing about having confidence. I have to have confidence in myself that we can get there. But it's important to take the time to kind of recognize what you have accomplished sometimes when you're on your journey to bigger and better things. And of course, reaching 800,000 subscribers is a huge accomplishment, and I'm so grateful for all of you guys who are sitting here watching this video right now. Thank you so much for all of your support and love and encouragement over the years. You have no idea how much it's really truly changed my life, and I just appreciate it so much. So thank you for watching, and I hope you had fun learning a little bit more about me. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next video coming up very soon. Bye.